Om Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Om Apadamapahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham. Namaskar. The Sundarkandam begins with Hanuman crossing the 800 miles of ocean to reach Lanka. As we explore the Sundarakandam, we unveil the secrets of Ravana's Lanka. In the sixth book of the Valmiki Ramayana, which is an epic tale of love, duty, righteousness, and adventure, we are offered a glimpse. In fact, detailed descriptions are given of the world of mystical beings and ancient civilizations. The Sundarkandam delves into the fascinating world of Ravana's Lanka and Sita's imprisonment, exploring its geographical location, architectural grandeur, diverse population, and the highly advanced technologies of the Pushpak Vimana. Lanka was 800 miles from the seashore of the mainland on the equator and at what at that time was considered at 0 degrees longitude. The Sundarakandam describes Hanuman's epic journey across 800 miles of the ocean to reach Lanka. This distance, combined with the location of the setting sun, suggests the starting point of the western coast of India facing the Arabian Sea. On the way, there appears many various geographical and aquatic features. The question to be asked is, what is the point from which on the mainland does Hanuman take off to cross the sea? A sloka in the Yuddha Kandam clearly states that Rama and the army, while camping on the shore before embarking on crossing the ocean, sees the sunset on the western horizon. Given the Indian peninsula's location, the sun setting over the sea in the west means that they were on the west coast watching the sunset in what we now know as the Arabian Sea. It is known that Lanka was at 0 degrees latitude on the equator. 00 is its coordinates. This is a unique coordinate and has many hidden secrets behind it. Why was this particular spot chosen by Vishwakarma to build this city for Kubera? Lanka was originally Kubera's city, which Ravana won over from him in battle. Kubera, the half-brother of Ravana, conceded, and thereby it came to be known as Ravana's Lanka. It is our understanding that Ujjain was considered as 0 degrees longitude in those days. And if we measure back 800 miles from the equator, along the longitude of Ujjain, where it meets the landmass, we can plot back from that point the exact spot from where Hanuman took off to leap across the distance towards Lanka. Under the sea, there will be a range of mountains and high peaks that are so clearly described. The deep sea creatures and the huge gigantic fishes and snakes and monsters living in that region of the time in the Indian Ocean are also described in great detail. No doubt, some of these creatures may either be extinct or may have gone to different locations. Let us not forget that the topography of the land and the ocean floor of that time was different from what we see today. In fact, even the shoreline of India would have been very different, considering that we are talking about 12,000 BCE. On the island itself, there are various mountains mentioned that clearly show that what is being promoted as Lanka or Sri Lanka nowadays could not possibly be Ravana's Lanka. Therefore, the exact location of the island of Lanka is a topic of research. We also need to research into why in 1982, Ceylon, what was known as Ceylon, was renamed as Sri Lanka. In the Sundarakandam, we read in great detail about the beauty and grandeur of Lanka. Lanka was a huge island, and on its southern shores, facing away from the mainland, was the city of Lanka. Here we find detailed description of the city, and here is an opportunity for town planners and architects to reconstruct the city of Lanka and then compare its features with that of Ayodhya. The Ramayana provides detailed descriptions of the city's layout, its palaces, its gardens, and the Ashok Vatika where Sita is held captive. This offers a great inspiration for architects and designers. Originally built by Vishwakarma for Kubera, its grandeur was many times greater than that of Ayodhya. Also, given the large and varied population mentioned, it was a city of huge proportions. Kubera, the lord of wealth, could afford such a lavish creation. The Sundarakandam describes the population of Lanka and the variety of types of ogres and other beings. Right through the Ramayana, we are provided detailed accounts of different types of ogres, demons, and other creatures and sentient beings. But here in Sundarakandam, it focuses on those inhabiting Lanka, along with their census and demographics, the presence of a well-equipped army and numerous horses, elephants, and chariots. This enumeration of this diverse and varied population itself is worthy of in-depth research. Hanuman surveys the entire island looking for Sita and describes in great detail the palaces, the ogres, the number of ogres in each palace. This provides us valuable insight into the population distribution and the island's layout. What was the population of Lanka? And despite so many beings killed in combat with Hanuman, there were still hordes of ogres that took part in the final war with Sri Rama. We also have detailed description of the countenances and bodies of the ogres. Here is an opportunity for caricature artists and cartoonists, along with other artists, to draw up detailed images of the different types of ogres and animals described in the Sundarakandam, and in fact described in the various other books of the Ramayana. In each of the books of the Ramayana, Valmiki has introduced us to different ogres, and in the Sundarakandam, he has given a further long list of ogres. In fact, this is an opportunity to develop a unique ogres reference manual. A manual giving the lineage, the characteristics, the powers, and the roles in the epic narrative. A manual not only of ogres mentioned in the Ramayana, but in all the other scriptures and epics. Research into the weapons and technology of Lanka demands our attention. In fact, Hanuman describes how the city of Lanka has been fortified and how the palaces have been fortified, the types of fortification around the cities and the palaces, and the weaponry used is described in great detail, and this adds an important continuation of in the field of research of the weaponry and war strategies of that time. Each ogre in the Ramayana possesses unique weapons, chariots, and animal companions, showcasing the diversity and sophistication of their military arsenal. This is also a source of rich inspiration for artists and designers. Drawing the battle scenes with Hanuman and also the scenes inside the palace. The Pushpaka Vimana, an aerial vehicle of immense proportions, which had amazing navigational facilities and the capacity to go as directed, like our modern day aircrafts with inbuilt route paths and GPS sensors. The detailed description of the Pushpak Vimana and other Vimanas found in Lanka's palaces. Some of the ministers had their own Vimanas. This shows the presence of an advanced and artistically endowed society capable of constructing sophisticated flying machines, sophisticated weapons, and having absolutely beautifully designed and ornamented palaces. In the entire Ramayana, through each of the books, we see the significance of ogres. Ogres have been a significant part of every era and have been described in great detail in all our ancient scriptures and literatures. They represent the balance, negative energy, and positive aspect, representing both the negative and positive aspects of creation. The ogres or the Rakshasas or the Dhanavas embody the destructive and evil forces that exist in the world. And because of their presence, it also highlights the importance of good and virtue. And in the entire Ramayana, when every battle of Rama with each of the ogres is a classic example of why and how good and virtue prevails over evil and destructive forces. Ogres are mentioned throughout our various scriptures and in our ancient literature, including the Vedas, the Puranas, the Mahabharata, and in the Ramayana. In fact, the birth of Rama was for the sole purpose of killing Ravana, who was invincible and had a boon from Brahma that he would not or could not be killed by any other type of being other than man. The detailed description of ogres in the Ramayana provides a rich source of inspiration for artists and writers, allowing them to create captivating characters and stories that explore the complexities of good and evil. In fact, cartoonists and character artists could have a field day in drawing images of the ogres and describing them in great detail as part of the compilation of the Ogres Encyclopedia. So the Sundarakandam has specific research opportunities. One is the reconstruction and the exact plotting of the location of Lanka. The Ramayana's detailed description of Lanka's city, palaces, gardens offer a unique opportunity for town planners, architects, and designers to reconstruct the city and compare its features to that of Ayodhya. Here is also an opportunity for oceanographers to explore the seabed and the animals and the aquatic and sea animals and creatures mentioned here in the Sundarakandam. Here is an opportunity for creating an ogres encyclopedia, a comprehensive ogres encyclopedia encompassing their lineage, characteristics, powers, and roles in different scriptures with timelines would provide valuable insights into our antiquity, our ancient symbolism, and so-called mythology surrounding these creatures. Weapons and technology research continues with the detailed description of weapons, chariots, and how cities are fortified as described in the Sundarakandam. In fact, it can shed light on the military technology and the engineering advancements of ancient India. So the key takeaways as we read through the Sundarakandam is the detailed description of Ravana's Lanka, the Indian Ocean, the architecture, the population, the social structure, and the technology. The Ramayana project aims to highlight some of the key research opportunities presented by this epic, encouraging further exploration of its rich and fascinating details. Om Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Ramanama Varanane Om Apadamapahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shri Ramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyam. Dhanyavad.